For Latvia, several things important today. We have the usual part, and then we have the extraordinary meetings like with Armenia, EU-Egypt Association Council, and of course the highlight of the day finally is the opening of accession negotiations, the IGCs, with both Ukraine and Moldova. So we very much welcome the opening of the first chapter. Can't wait to open the next chapters. Both countries are ready to proceed. Obviously, for both there is quite a bit of work to be done. Acquis and adoption of acquis and implementation of acquis and absorption capacity. We have been through that. We know it's not a simple process, but it's really important. And especially today, after the horrible attacks that Russia did last night on Ukraine, on Kiev and other cities, destroying the most sacred religious sites and many other buildings, civilian objects, anti-corruption court building. So it's horrible, it's barbaric. And of course for the Baltic states we understand that very well. Yesterday we commemorated 85 years of the Soviet deportations of Latvian civilians, when in one night Soviet occupation authorities took innocent people and basically put them in the cattle wagons and sent them to Siberia to perish. And in Latvian case it was 15,500 people, many relatives of every family. So quite clearly Russia has not stopped its aggression, Russia has not changed its imperialistic nature, so we will adopt the next measures to counter Russian aggression, sanctions on individuals, companies, also preparation for the 21st sanction package. Then at the lunch we have some more sensitive subjects to discuss, so that's a closed door discussion, and then of course we also have the next chapter of IJC with Montenegro also proceeding well. So a lot of things, and we will have an exchange of views also obviously on the Middle East. There have been some news, so understanding on understanding, so I'm sure ministers will welcome all of that. Thank you.
One question on the enlargement. So potential new members also mean potential new vetoes, and we've just gotten rid of Orban and his blockades. So what can we do? Do we need safeguards for the new members?
Well, listen, overall the accession process ensures that the countries whom we accept behave like we do. So we don't do vetoes usually, unless there is something totally extraordinary, because that's not the way EU member states behave. We always find solutions to our problems. That's because we are in the same union of values, of interests, of common market. So that's also during the accession process, that's what we make sure, and that's why some countries are processing quite well and some countries are processing slower. And obviously with the new countries, that type of acceptance of behavior is also expected. So that's where we are.
On Ukraine, is this today just highly symbolic, or is it more than that?
Well, the fundamental rights is an important chapter, so it's not just highly symbolic to open that chapter, but actually those parts are again, who we are. When we speak about European values, it's both the acceptance of the Copenhagen criteria, meaning the adoption of a key administrative capacity, but also that fundamental values part. And so it's very important, very, very important.
Do you think that, like Merz suggested a few weeks ago, find a special status for Ukraine to accelerate negotiations about their access to EU? Is that?
We are quite flexible. We are quite flexible on that, absolutely, because again, having countries closer and seeing and understanding how EU functions, how we work together at the table, in the background, how we consult. It's a complicated machinery. We are in the EU for more than 20 years now, and it's still, I can say, for some people a surprise the way, EU functions. So indeed, it's very good idea to have some type of a closer status which allows countries to experience the work of the EU and to be part of it. Without yet having gone fully through the accession process itself. Thank you so much. Thank you.